All right, this is episode number 24 of Wild Bills Podcast. It's August 26th, 2024. Cubs had two series this past week, per usual. Had one at home against Detroit. Then we went down to South Beach, played the Miami Marlins. Excuse me. Won both of those series, so can't be really that upset about a week of pretty decent baseball. 2-1 against both teams. The only thing that I can really nitpick with that record is we should have probably swept both of them if we really wanted to be serious about taking any sort of stance in the either division, which is quickly fleeting. Doubt we'll really actually get to that spot, or to make like a really, actually be present in the wild card race. But we'll get to that. We had some pretty good performances this week. Shota Imanaga continues his dominant rookie season. I believe he's 10-3 now after the win on Saturday. Justin Steele had a really good start. I think we might actually see him break 500 on the season for his record, which would have never thought that would happen. The way that this team was not backing him up and not giving him run support throughout most of the season. And some of the young guys are shining. So we had PCA hit a couple home runs, one of them being inside the park, one of the fastest inside the parkers I'd ever seen. The Marlins had a really good relay on that, and PCA still beat out the throw with that head first slide. So that was encouraging to see. Happy to see that was happening. Miguel Amaya was hitting a few home runs too. So it's nice to see somebody that I thought was kind of a lost cause in the offensive department coming alive a little bit. Excuse me. I can't remember exactly when Christian Betancourt came on the team, but he's looking pretty good. He threw out a runner, which I also hadn't seen basically all season. In the beginning, Yan Gomes was like a revolving door over at second base. Miguel Amaya doesn't really have a good gun to throw people out on second. So it's nice to see that that's almost kind of coming together a little bit. But like I said, can't really take care of the bad teams when we need to. Things are getting kind of tight. We're almost in the final month of the season. We're still 5.5 back of the last wild card spot, and 10.5 back on the division. Third place in the division. I think there's like 4 teams fighting for that last wild card spot. One of them being the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm quickly coming to grips with the fact that we might not make the playoffs, which is obviously disappointing. It's the best word I can come up with it. Craig Counsell was said to be the one to maximize the amount of productivity out of whatever lineup. It's looking more and more like Milwaukee was just super well constructed from a baseball talent side of things. And that is a very unfortunate realization to have this late into the season, especially knowing that David Ross got the short end of the stick on that. The amount of money that was invested into getting Craig Counsell away from Milwaukee. It's almost poetic justice for the Cubs. Like, this is exactly like what you deserve. If you think that's all it was going to take, that's foolish. Not improving the roster, not having a good enough bullpen in the beginning of the season. If we have a good bullpen at the beginning of the season, we're probably winning 15 games more than what we already have. That probably puts us in the division at least. Wishful thinking. There's one more point I was trying to make. Oh yeah, we were at 500 for a day, and it felt amazing. It felt great not to root for a losing ball club. But we'll see if we get back to that. We play the Pirates and then the Washington Nationals this week. I believe both away at their respective stadiums. Both teams a little weaker than the Cubs. I expect 2 sweeps. I'll be upset with nothing less. Or I guess I'll be upset with everything less. Excuse me. I should really pay attention to the words I use. So that's really all I got about the Cubs this week. It's going to be probably a shorter episode. Another thing I have in baseball, White Sox, 31-100. 31 games won and 100 games lost. I believe this was the quickest a team has been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention in the recent era of baseball. I think that happened a couple of weeks ago too. So my apologies for my lack of journalistic punctuality in reporting that. Sad state of affairs. I forget the name of the guy, but the one guy got traded from the Dodgers to the White Sox. He's a sad man. There's a shot of him in the dugout just staring out into the field, wondering if this is really what he wants to do. It's unfortunate. Baseball's a business. And he got dealt, which is sad. So like I said, probably a shorter episode today. I don't really have much on the Bears preseason game. I mean, it happened. It was the Chiefs. Nobody played. None of the starters really played. Oh man, there was the linebacker that had a couple interceptions. He's looking pretty good. Not sure if he's gonna make the team. I think his name's Reddy. I'm gonna look this up real quick. He had an interception on the goal line. After the Bears muffed, or rather touched a punt down over by their goal line. That was a bad turnover that I hope not to see during the actual season. Tyson Bagent's looking pretty good. He's getting big buzz as the one of the better QB2s in the entire league. It's looking like it's going to be Caleb, Brett Rippon, and Tyson Bagent going into the season. Hopefully that third guy from Western Kentucky, I forget his name. His name is escaping me right now. Hopefully he makes the practice squad and is able to stick around. He was looking pretty promising as a project. Maybe he'll stay in the league for a few years. But yeah, won the game. Bears undefeated in the preseason. Obviously, the preseason is the biggest indicator for the regular season, so we're going to win the Super Bowl. Last week's Hard Knocks episode was the best one yet. Looking forward to the one coming out tomorrow. I'll be completely honest, I did not take notes on the episode, so whatever happened escapes me. But, like I said in the last installment of this podcast, it's kind of a boring series so far compared to all the other ones where they let the cussing fly. But that's those are the McCaskies for you. Just ruining everything that's fun. So, that's what I got this week. Yeah, Cubs better sweep these two series if they want to be serious about anything. So, I think we'll leave it at that today. Thanks to the few of you that are watching. Appreciate it. And until then, it's over.